Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have something new for you all today. You may have noticed, for the observant amongst you, we're not on the beach where we normally are.
No.
The weather's rubbish.
It's poor today, mate.
Yeah.
It's been poor all week. It's really my week.
Yeah, and it's only
yeah.
Monday.
I know.
Our club match got cancelled tonight. We were so obsessed, we wanted to do some filming anyway.
I've been pestering you. I want to talk about lures.
Yes, you've been pestering, I've been wanting to talk about everything.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about this for about a year now, about doing a sort of podcast slash vlog slash technical tackle talk, I suppose.
Yep. Something we can really get into depth about and go into the nitty gritty about things.
Yeah,
and,
get into the nitty gritty, all the technical details and all the lovely stuff that we like talking about. This is going to be a new feature in the channel. This is episode 1. And today's episode is on one of Darren's favourite lures.
Absolutely obsessed with them.
He really is.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so we are going to have a look at gobies tonight. And in particular, well, we've got 3 here actually.
Yeah.
Probably the king of the gobies, would you say?
I would say king of the gobies.
Yeah.
It's probably the most versatile lure.
Okay.
Or versatile goby.
Yeah, the Megabass Dark Sleeper.
Well, a lot of them, they've got their own place. So there's no right or wrong, there's no good one. They all have their right place.
There's
at the
no
right
good one.
time.
Not selling these very well, are they? We've got the Westin Gunnar the Goby, which I love the name.
Thank you.
And we also have some Berkeley Pulse gobies.
Cheap as chips.
Cheap
Great
as
way to get
chips.
started.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Now, these are... Do you know what? The one thing I think confuses most people with this lure,
What's
it
that?
certainly got me to start with. I misunderstood the lure because of this part of it.
Yes.
It's a paddle tail.
Yeah.
So to me, being... I enjoy my lure fishing. I'm not as good as Darren. I'm happy to say that on camera.
No, stop, I'm going to blush.
For me, a soft plastic lure with a paddle tail is what I call a chuck it out, reel it back in lure.
Exactly that. And you know, when I first see it, that was my first thought.
Yeah. But these are designed different, aren't they?
They are, mate.
Let's look at the Megabass to start with. The Megabass has a weighted head, so the weight is internal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you can't see the lead in there, but there's a big lump of lead. And it's kind of flat along the bottom. The eye is protruded almost 90 degrees up, like so. And the way the lure is actually shaped means the hydrodynamics, or it's like aerodynamics basically in the car, isn't it?
Exactly.
Will actually push that lure down. So for starters, every time it lands, it'll always land upright. This lure never lands like that, does it? In the water, it's always upright.
There we go. Perfect.
That's quite a good
Perfect
example.
example.
Yeah. Because the angle of the eye and the angle of the shape of the body, any retrieve and slight movement is pinning it to the bottom.
It does, mate. You almost
Really,
feel it
really
gripping
good.
and holding on the
Yeah.
bottom. And that's exactly what you want. You can fish these in the kill zone, in tide, for a lot longer than any other lure. Any jig head, anything, you can just really keep it there. And you will get bites when that thing's still.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
So that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've used this with great success. I must admit, I'll chuck up some photos of Darren with bass. You've used this super slow, haven't you? To the
At
point
night.
of being
Yeah.
at night, yeah. To the point of being
Do you know
still.
what? Yeah. I've fished this in coloured water, in fast flow, dead of night. Hard on the bottom, super slow, and the bass just find them. They just find them.
So come on then, how do we fish it? Let's give us a situation. I am stood on the shoreline.
Yep.
Yep. I've got a right to left
Right
tide.
to the float. Yep.
Yep. And it's a bit lumpy, bumpy, rocky.
A bit lumpy, bumpy. This lure has no problem with it really, unless you've got things such as shopping carts and huge.
Okay, so no good for Hulls Bay then.
Actually, no. So basically, how you fish it is you want to fish it hard on the bottom, and the main thing is you want to fish it along with the tide.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump it up tide. I'm going to let it hit the bottom, and I'm going to pay out a bit of line. That's a bit that surprises people.
Yeah.
The fact that we can let a belly of line out. But what the belly of line does is it will allow my lure to move exactly with the flow. It will not come towards me. It will just go with the flow, and that's how the bass expect to see their food.
Yeah.
Going with the flow.
Rather than diagonally across it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you will pick fish up like that.
So basically you'll create the belly of line, a little bit up-tiding from the boat, if anyone's ever done that. Belly of line creates a straight line going to the lure. So even though I'm here, the line is going to be going to the lure at this angle, rather than this angle,
Yep.
because we've got a belly coming around like this.
That is exactly it.
And the tide hitting that belly will actually do the movement for you.
Yep. And as well, you can drift these a lot longer than jig heads, say. Because this thing will fish stationary and hard on the bottom, you can actually extend your drift.
Okay.
Yeah, no, believe that, yeah. So once you get to the end of your drift, which would usually be 10 o'clock-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go
What
10,
you do,
10:32.
yeah, about that. What I'll do then is I'll pour a load of line out. So I'll literally open a bail arm, pile out 30 yards of line.
And continue to fish it.
Continue it. So what you do is you create again another big bow, and that comes back and it goes directly to your lure, parallel, and you extend it. Now,
So what you're doing, you're not using your reel for that then? Really?
I barely wind at all.
Okay. So you're just lifting and dropping with your rod tip.
Yeah. So what you're trying to do, actually, it's a lot with, it's the same with all types of tide fishing. Is you kind of prioritise presentation over the feel. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. So you prioritise the presentation, and you still will feel the the hits. But that is your main goal of presenting it right. And I'll tell you what, another great thing with this lure is, have you ever been in a situation where the tide actually pulls away from you and tried to fish a jig? It's like impossible, because let's say again we've got a right to left flow. You put it up there, you get, I'd say, a quarter of the way round, and then the tide wants to pick it up and lifts it and drags it across and out the kill zone. Yeah. But again with this, it'll come round, you can pile a load of line out, 30 yards of line, your line will be hooping off up in front of you, and your lure will be here.
You're perfectly tracking that tide.
And you are tracking the tide, exactly that.
Awesome.
That is why this lure is the king of tide.
Clever.
I know.
The king of tide. There you go. King of the gobies, king of the tide.
Yeah.
What about our gunner? Fish it exactly the same?
No. So it's not stable. It is stable. It's not silly unstable, but it's not got the stability of a lure like this.
Okay.
You know, it does.
So it doesn't have as wide and as flat a belly. I don't know how well that's going to come out.
And I think the way the weight's actually in there, it's not got that flat bottom like the other one. So basically, I'll fish this in areas where, because you've got an exposed hook, so I'll fish this in areas where it's not really snaggy, and there's not much lateral movement. So this is what I fish, and I do prefer this actually because they're a lot lighter than the dark sleepers.
Okay.
So in my head, I just think, as soon as a bass, it just straight into the mouth.
Sucks it in.
As soon as he opens his mouth, pulls in a load of water with the goby, they go in. An exposed hook, you're going to get more hookups. You know, as much as I do trust a guard, that will always just nick that 1% more fish.
That's brought us back to probably another conversation we should have for another day, actually. Striking your bites.
Oh, okay.
If you're a bass angler and you're not striking your bites, the soft plastics especially, you are 100% missing fish.
Yeah, I always say if you go a session, fishing tide, and you blanked and you've not struck once, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gave me a lesson on that. We were fishing a mark in Port Harbour, and towards back in the last year, was it? Whenever it was.
A long time ago, it feels.
And you were doing every knock you were hitting.
Yeah.
And you said to me you'd rather hit 20 knocks that weren't fish to make sure you connected with the one that was a fish, than me. I was going, oh, that felt like a fish. And it might have been a fish, but I missed it already.
And quite often it's because everyone when you're
I
bass
think you got
fishing,
to a 6-0 by the way in that session before I twigged.
it was a bit more. But
Before I realised.
no, but sometimes it is. Everyone expects like a big slam over bite, and you're not going to receive that too much. You're going to feel something different. Sometimes it can just be a shudder. Hit it. Sometimes you feel like the lure should have moved, and it's moved. All of a sudden, it's just stopped like really suddenly. Hit it. And the other thing with it as well is, just see this. This is a drag. We crank that up. Okay. That is a drag, and we crank that up. Okay. The biggest thing that I see going wrong with people fishing tide when you've got a big hoop, big bow line out, is they'll get that knock and they hit it, and there's so much give. The drag will go. Okay. You're not in direct contact.
You're not really moving that lure very much, are you?
No, exactly. So yeah, I basically
quite a tight drag.
I have a very tight drag. Admittedly, if I hit it and it folds over, I'll back off. But there's so many bass that are lost through loose drag.
There we go. I digressed, didn't I? So yeah, hit your bites.
Hit your bites.
And be aggressive. We were watching the Ultimate Fishing guys,
Yeah.
the French guys earlier, who are masters of all this as well. And they just do the best strikes, don't they? It's full whack overhead and stepping back to
they'll walk back, they'll hit it and walk back.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's the thing, you think a bass, we're presenting a lure down to him, and a bass is here. Now, that lure's coming at him. All he's got to do is drop in a little bit, open his mouth, hit it. He could drop into you. So not only do you have a belly of line out, he could actually slackline you as well. So you've really got to hit him. The amount of times that I've had knocks, or let's say a hit, I've had the take, and you've gone, boop, yep, and he's on. You know, he's really slacklined you, he's come straight towards you, and you need to be onto that.
I get that. And also, I mean, thinking from, you know, more my style of fishing, let's say this is a sand deal and a ray comes onto it, you know, if I've got a little bite on my rod tip, I'm thinking I'm just happy because I know that ray's moved over that bait and he's going chew, 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 chew. And then in a minute he's going to scuttle off with the bait in his mouth. Rod's going to pull over.
You've got to react quick.
Bass don't do that.
No.
Bass see that, go have one suck, and they could quite possibly do that, and then go.
Have you ever been lure fishing, and even with just straight retrieval jig heads, where you've had that bang bang, the double hit?
Yeah.
I'm so adamant that is a bass. You feel the bang, shake, shake, gone, and that second hit is it basically coming out of his mouth where he's shaking his head. And you do get a lot of time. I know I said it just hits shake, shake out, but you've got longer than you think to hit it. So many times you think, oh, I've missed it. Just
hit it anyway.
Hit it anyway.
Yeah. So hitting it anyway. So we've chucked it up there. We're trotting around the tide. You've gone bang. You hit one. You've missed it. What do you do then? Do you reel in and start to drift again?
No,
just
definitely
let
not.
it keep going. Let a bit more line out.
Yeah, exactly that. So let's get back to how we present this with the flow. You can have as many as you want. Dark chocolate.
I've got to finish all these before the end of the video.
I've got no coffee left. So when you're fishing this in flow, what you're trying to create is it gripping. Now when it grips, you've created a point there where it's still and your rod tip. Now that flow will push onto that belly of line and you'll feel your rod just arc over. You don't want to, like every other jig edge.
It's like your beach rod again, just pulling over the tide.
Yeah, exactly that. Every other jig edge you want to boom, get it up and back on the move. This, you just want to just create more tension, more tension, more tension, and it will just
lift a little bit.
It'll just pop over and he's back on the move. Yeah? Sometimes it'll really grip in and you do have to pull a bit. So if I've done that, I know that lure with that tension has popped up. I'll literally drop the rod and try and just get that lure back down on the deck as quick as possible. But you are trying to keep it pinned all the time. Shall we actually talk about scents on the lures? Because I think for when you're fishing things like gobies really slow, I think scents are just a must.
Oh, yeah, you are obsessed.
Yeah.
Back in 2 seconds. I should go and get something.
What are you getting?
Some scent. There we go. He was not talking about scents, as in common, because we have none of that. Thankfully, what we do have is stinky stuff. Things like these.
As a must. Almost is a must.
Nearly all of your soft plastic fishing, when you're super, super slow, fishing static, that sort of thing, you do whack a bit of Procure, a bit of Gold One.
Yeah. Now, I don't think it gives you more
Can I
bites.
interrupt slightly?
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to start this conversation by saying I was always massively sceptical. Because I fell into the trap of thinking, well, I'm lure fishing. You know, adding scent is cheating. And actually, Darren gave me a slap round the face going, we're not just lure fishing, we're going fishing to catch fish. And that is the ultimate goal, isn't it?
9% of lures come scented anyway.
This is very true,
So, I don't see the harm in it.
No, I don't know, exactly. I'm completely sold on that.
Yeah.
If something gives you the edge, it means you're going to catch more fish.
If it gives you an extra 5%,
I think
Go
this
with
could
it.
be far more than 5%, really. But
I do.
Don't be snobby, is what I was going to try and say. Don't be thinking, oh, it's not pure, it's lure fishing. At the end of the day, we're out with a lure rod, with a lure reel, with a lure. You hook up on that sort of gear, you're going to have a whale of a time.
And
that helps.
I don't think it gives you more bites. Really selling it. No, I don't think you get more bites. I think you just get a better quality bite.
Okay.
I think the plucks, I think they're just so much more committed to hit that lure harder. Really go for it. And possibly hang on to it for that little bit longer.
See, I've got it in my head that you do get the odd. I think you get more bites.
I think you probably do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to say that just so people don't say it's cheating.
I don't care if it's cheating.
No,
I go
no,
fishing to catch fish.
catch
I will
fish,
do what I
exactly.
need to do to put a
But
fish on the hook.
100% the bites are more
Savage,
savage. Yeah.
This is a great, really easy one to add a bit of goo to. So the hook guard, which is along the top there, so the dorsal fin they've made into the hook guard, that is the perfect place.
The
Just
chamber.
open her up, give her a squirt in there, close her up, and away you go. That's a great place to add on.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to say that out of the two, you're a massive Procure fan because you've used it for years.
I
haven't
am,
you?
yeah.
But you've actually been quite impressed with that because of how sticky it is.
It just doesn't come off.
It doesn't come off,
It
no.
doesn't, no. You'll put a bit on at the beginning of a session, and you get home, go to wash them, and it's just still, it sounds bad. It's everywhere.
Doesn't it?
But it just doesn't come off. It's great stuff. Do you know, I had a session a little while ago, only a couple of weeks ago, where the fishing was so hot. Like, it was first cast fish, and they were all 55 up to mid 60s, yeah?
Nice.
And I was putting the stuff on like every 10 casts. It was like, I know the fish are there, I just want that to nail them. That is it. Just, yeah, that is all I wanted to do. Absolutely obsessed with that stuff. What can help you present that lure with a bow and a line so you run it along with the tide exact? And that gets us onto leaders. But we're going to do you know what we're going to do? We're going to actually have a talk about leaders, because leaders in all of our lure fishing, it plays a huge part of it.
Yeah.
And
So
this
it's a
is
massive
a good,
subject.
yeah,
I think we skim over it slightly
yep,
because what Darren's going to say now will buck the trend from what probably 90% of you watching are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the UK, and I've got to hold my hand up here, this is something I have A, used myself in my entire life, and
Yeah.
B, promote to nearly all my customers. I tell nearly all my customers to come in
you know what, though?
and use a 2-foot leader.
yeah,
Now,
2
that's
for leader.
Probably because I'm a slightly simpler lure angler. I'm just your Joe Bloggs lure
It
angler.
gets you out there.
I love my surface lure fishing.
Yeah.
And for that, I probably wouldn't change from a 2-foot leader.
Yeah,
And your sort of bog standard things like your metals.
yeah,
2-foot leader is absolutely,
Absolutely fine.
Your bog standard straight cast and retrieve. I don't know, V2, sandy, whatever you're using.
yeah, you're fine.
Yeah,
You're
I think
fine.
fine. For this is a much more technical way of lure fishing. You use a
Yeah.
much longer
Yeah,
leader,
so
don't you?
yeah, I'm using, for most of my tide work, I'm using 25 foot, 25 foot of fluorocarbon, and I'll change from diameter depending on how snaggy the area is.
Okay.
But by me using a really long leader, it just helps catch the tide.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just helps me create a bigger bow, so I can present it again, present. But it just allows me to present it better. That flow will catch it and just create a big bow and just take it with it.
Yeah.
And as well, let's face it, we're using a leader half the time as a rubbing leader. Now 2 foot doesn't cut it for a rubbing leader.
Not when you're fishing this time.
No. And as well, I use a long leader sometimes, especially when I'm fishing these. I'm fishing a really fast action rod. That's another thing we need to get into.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm fishing a really fast action rod, and the reason for that is I can pick the line up and recover so much line quicker.
So by that he means a stiffer tipped rod.
A stiffer
basically,
tip rod,
yeah.
exactly that.
In layman's terms.
And there's areas where you've got to hook these bass and really hang on to them. Now 25 foot gives me that little bit more cushioning from the rod, so I get less hook pulls. And as well, like I said, the 25 foot, it acts as a rubbing leader.
Yeah.
I've just got so much more room. Yeah.
Well, it's good. I suppose the thing is, because you've got that big bow out, you've got far more line actually basically laying along
Yes.
the ground.
Yeah.
Whereas when we're just doing sort of more traditional cast and retrieve lure fishing,
Yeah.
there's not a lot touching the ground,
Yeah.
is there? So
No, exactly that, mate.
longly up to 25 foot.
25 foot, I know. But there's only one knot that I know of that can really handle that, and that is the FG knot.
Yeah, you are
You
obsessed with that,
must,
but
yeah. You know, if you're going to cast anything through the eyes, you've really got to use
yeah.
the FG
Take your
knot.
time, learn it.
Learn it. It
We won't
can
go
be
too
a
much
bit of
into
a
detail for that one now, but yeah,
No, there's
learn the
loads of
FG
videos.
knot. It really is a good knot for that.
Yeah.
And also, if you are buying a lure rod or you're thinking which lure rod shall I use for this, doing this, if you're going to give it a go, pick one with the biggest eyes you got.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So now one of my favourite rods ever is my HTO N70. No good for this whatsoever because it has minuscule eyes.
Yeah.
I do love that rod, but minuscule as.
Yeah.
But you got other rods there, the SG8 Defiance that we've both been using.
Yep.
Obviously things like the 10 YUs.
Yep.
Your
Hold on, Tom.
absolute
Hold
favourite.
on, Tom.
Yeah, go on.
Now this rod just spinning round.
Now this is controversial because this is
I
not
know.
a fashionable rod in the science bit, is it?
It's not in the bass scene at all.
If the bass scene guys knew you were using
I know, they're
an
cringe,
Abu
weren't they?
rod,
Now,
they're all switched off, you know.
yeah, I know. I know. I'm almost embarrassed when I say, but it is. I just picked it up on a whim.
You picked it up on the whim because the rep came in and showed you, and I said, "Do you know what? I've always dreamed of owning enough fantasy."
And I had to own it then,
And
yeah.
you just bought it.
I had to have it. But it is just the ultimate tide rod. Do you know, I tried it for all different things and that, and I thought, yeah, it's a nice rod. And then I tried it in tide, and I just went, oh my God.
Fell in love.
It is such a fast action rod. It just powers up in the right place. And it's a good looking rod as well.
She's a beauty.
Yeah, she is.
She's a beauty.
Come on, get her out, Tom.
Oh, forget
I'll let
it.
you do it. Yeah.
There you go.
Here
So
we go.
I will say that those aren't. Oh my God.
What's up?
Let me go and get. Hang on.
What do you want?
Grab one of these funny red rods.
Are we going to look at eye size? Are we going to judge eye
Oh, we're
sizes?
going to start looking at eyesight because
Yeah.
I would like to say the French are streets ahead when it comes to leaders.
Oh,
aren't
mate, do you know, I don't
they?
want to
They'll be
say
down
it.
on 018, 020 leaders where us poor English folk wouldn't even consider it.
No.
They've used longer leaders for
Longer
decades.
leaders. We're talking down to 020.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think 018. Yeah,
018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of the 10 YU rods, a lot of people pick them and go, oh, the eyes were a bit big. That's the reason why. It's because
Yeah.
the French use a lot long leaders.
Yeah.
Yours, I would say, were one size smaller,
Yeah, I'd say so.
but infinitely bigger than
yeah.
my N70.
Yeah.
Which
they
I love,
are.
by the way. I'm not slagging off my N70. I'm
No,
not.
they're great rods. No, but I just want something really fast.
Yeah.
To just be able to pick up line, come into contact, and really hit them hard. You know, let's face it. Let's look at the Goby. That's a lot of rubber. That is a lot of rubber for a bass to hold on to. You got a bow in the line. You really need to drive these hooks in. Simple as that. And you know what? I hear so many people saying, "Oh, the hook isn't big enough. It's too covered." Honestly, mate, I very rarely miss bites on them where they just choke them so deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I very rarely
A
miss
lot
bites.
of your photos actually are of fish with that Goby
Yeah.
down his neck. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
they,
What did
they
someone say
really
the other
do
day?
inhale it.
In the box.
In the box, back of the net. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go, matey.
Cheers, mate.
Have a refresh.
Cheers.
What happened to all the biscuits?
I don't know, actually.
Behave.
Was that you?
No, I turned my
I
back
did
for
not
2
do
minutes.
that. I did do that.
Anyway, we digress. So, we very briefly mentioned the Gunner,
Yep.
and we were going to talk about when you use that.
Yeah, I'm basically just going to fish this when there's no tide.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. I'm just going to scuttle it along the bottom, and you can't fish them too
That
slow.
is, sorry, I'm going to interrupt again. Keep doing that. That
No,
is
no,
the
go on.
best word to describe how to work this.
Bottom.
Scuttle.
Oh,
Scuttle.
I didn't even say skull.
Yeah. I can almost fish these with my eyes closed and just envisage that little Goby going, scuttle, 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 stop,
Yeah.
scuttle, scuttle, scuttle.
Oh, I had an
Stop.
awesome take on this the other month, and it was just duk, 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 along the bottom, duk, 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 at night, and it just caught something, and it went duk, 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 up over the top of it, and it was like it just hopped off, and it went free, wham, like it just come over the side, dropped off,
Something
and
obviously
he just,
behind a little bank or rock or something.
Yeah,
And as
yeah.
you've come over the top,
and he's just dropped and he nailed it.
Awesome.
Oh, it was such a hit.
Awesome, awesome.
So yeah, I'm just basically fishing these when there's not much tide, water's a bit clearer, like not as snaggy, and they're just awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, can't
So
fish them
you're-
too slow.
so you're straight retrieve scuttling
Yep.
in low tide,
Yep.
and you're drifting
Yep.
with tide.
Exactly that.
So with this one, you like to go as heavy as you
Oh,
can.
yes.
You need it to be pinned to the bottom,
you need it pinned to the bottom.
but you need to find the balance so that the tide still moves it, don't you?
Yeah, but you do want it to grip though.
Yes.
That is one of the things, because you will get hits once it's stopped and gripped, because it's still fishing when it's just doing that on the bottom. They do a 1 ounce version, a 3/4, and a 1/2 ounce. Now, if I'm starting to just snag too much and it's really biting in too much, where I know I might snag and lose
Just
it.
not getting that movement.
Yeah, I'll just drop down. I'll just drop down to 3/4.
Okay.
And yeah, and vice versa. If it's motoring, then
Step up.
Yeah. And actually, what I will do as well, Tom, is as we spoke about leaders and how we sometimes use that length of leader to help move that lure in the right direction. If the flow's too much, another thing you can do is just cut your leader back down.
Okay.
Less drag, the braid's a lot thinner,
Yeah.
so the water doesn't catch it as much.
And you can fine tune that, I suppose.
Oh, exactly,
As you
mate.
go.
Yeah, exactly that.
think-
Exactly that stuff, mate. But basically, they both got their place. That goes for all lures. There's never a good bass lure. There's a right lure for the right time, right conditions, right situation, and how the bass are feeding.
And learn how to present it.
Exactly that, mate. So when I'm fishing these as well, Tom, I've actually had a few situations.
That's the Gunner.
That's the Gunner, sorry, the Westin Gunnar. I've had a few situations, and I know I've had this situation multiple times, but I've really just been paying attention to why. You know, when you've got bait fish in front of you, in situations when there's not much flow, and flow because they will both work in this situation, but when you know the bass should be hitting bait fish that you can hear or see at night or daytime, and they're just not interested.
Okay.
And I've had a few situations where I've turned my red light on because it's come to the end of the session and I know the bait fish are there, I know the bass are there, and it's frustration. I've turned my red light on and I've just had a good look before I've gone. And the bass are there, and guess what they're doing? Ignoring all the bait fish, nose down, feeding on crabs. This is when this comes into its own.
Okay.
Yeah. When they just don't want to chase the little mullet, the smelt, sand
So when they've got their heads down and they're grubbing around.
on crabs, gobies,
And shrimps and things
Yeah,
like that.
this is when they come into their own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So almost sort of creeps into creature bait territory, doesn't
Yeah, it does, mate. Yeah,
Not
it is.
technically a creature bait, but it works as well.
Yeah.
That is something Seetse said last year when I went to France. He said the profile of this, when you're looking down on the top, he said they're so wide, and the way you're sort of fishing them relatively slowly, scuttling along the bottom, he said it's very similar to the profile and the way a crab moves.
Exactly. Yeah.
Although it obviously to us doesn't look like a crab,
Yeah.
there is a slight mimic.
Oh,
of a
100%.
crab
Have you
with
seen
that
this in white in water at night?
look. Not
You,
in
you got to. You look at it like this, in white. It is a shrimp.
Oh really?
Oh, it's just yeah, dead on. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and Sitze knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Seetse knows his stuff.
He does know his stuff.
You have to say because he's bigger than you. Bigger than
Only
both
by
of us
a
put
little
together. So that actually leads us on a little bit then to seasonality.
Okay, yeah.
This
yeah.
thing, well,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
both of these. So
Yeah.
the gobies in general will fish pretty much 12 months of the year, won't they?
Yeah, 100%.
So in the winter months when the bass are a little bit slower, they're just grubbing around for crabs in
the
the
bait
estuaries
fish ain't
and
there,
harbours.
so
yeah.
they are
Your mullet is
focused.
gone. Your
Yeah.
your anchovies and
Yeah.
sprats are gone, maybe.
A lot of the time the bass haven't left the harbours or
No.
certain areas, and they're just feeding on different prey items.
You were catching on these and the sleeper core, but that's something for a
whole
different
different
day.
Yep.
You were catching on these in January,
January,
February,
yeah.
March.
Yeah,
And doing well on them, weren't
yeah. It is just slowing things down and giving them what they want, mate. Yeah. No, it is. These will fish all year round in certain areas. A lot of people think the bass, you know, we can only talk for where we live. And areas like Paul Harbour, Christchurch, the bass don't go nowhere. Well, some of them. We get ones that just stay. And they're catchable on lures. And it is just a case of slowing things down. That is all you got to do.
Well, there we go. That was a monumental amount of waffle about a plastic fish.
I know. But there's just so much more to
But
it.
it's a plastic fish you absolutely love.
Exactly that.
That brings us to the end of our first tackle talk. I've enjoyed that. Have you enjoyed that?
I have enjoyed it, mate, yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the one thing I will say is these videos will work if you guys get involved, okay? We want loads and loads of questions.
Yeah.
So pop loads of questions in the comments. Everything you want to know, or everything you didn't understand from our waffle, or
Yeah.
whatever the question is about the gobies, whack it in the comments and we will, both of us, endeavour to get
Yeah.
back
It's
to you
hard to
and
cover
reply.
every situation, isn't it? And
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, someone does things differently and it's great to hear it. So
Yeah.
get some questions in, mate.
Get some questions in,
Yeah.
and we will endeavour to reply in due course.
Yep.
Marvellous. But there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. We've quite enjoyed that, haven't we?
Love that.
Sat
Yeah.
down, drinking tea, eating biscuits.
Do you know what I
we
like?
could have been out getting cold and wet.
Yeah, do you know what I like? You've actually opened the goby.
You're going to take that home now, aren't you?
I think so. I think so, Tom.
It's coming out your wages. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, like I said, leave a comment, please. That'd be the most important thing.
Yeah.
But hit the like and subscribe as per usual. And we will, like I said, endeavour over the winter months to do more of these. And we're going to try and cover as much as we can.
And we're going to get out and show
Yeah.
some tactics and methods of fishing certain lures.
I will be waffling on about my beach fishing stuff, and I want to get into the nitty gritty of it.
Oh,
All the
yeah.
technical stuff that we don't necessarily have time to talk about when we're on the beach.
Yeah.
And also sometimes all the stuff that not everybody will necessarily appreciate. So do you know what? These videos aren't going to be for everyone. But if you want to know a little bit more about the technical side of fishing, hopefully over the winter months we're going to get some good content out.
Yeah, exactly that, mate. Right.
Right.
Cheers.
Ciao for now. Yeah, cheers.